The 65th Grammy Awards celebrates 50 years of hip-hop with one epic performance featuring several famous faces, but one was missing from the ensemble for a specific reason. Will Smith. According to Questlove, who spoke to Variety, Will Smith was meant to participate in the tribute, but had to back out due to scheduling conflicts. But do you think it's true? Or he's just using this excuse to cover up the truth that he or the people around him might be afraid of how he might behave again in this yet another award ceremony? That's what we're going to find out and more in today's video. But before I spill anything, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now, let's jump in. Will Smith's relationship with award shows has been a bit of a mixed bag as of late, thanks to the events that transpired at the 2022 Academy Awards. Smith's Oscar slap controversy involved the actor's heated and violent reaction to comedian Chris Rock's joke at Jada Pinkett Smith's expense. The slap and verbal barrage Smith unleashed at Rock severely undermined his Best Actor win for King Richard later that night, and the star has been dealing with the consequences ever since. Now, it appears that the star has become involved in another award ceremony incident, or rather, he specifically wasn't involved in a very particular incident he was supposed to take part in. Smith was supposed to be part of a major rap tribute at the Grammys, but the rapper-actor ended up dropping out of the performance. However, this didn't have anything to do with the fallout from last year's Oscars. Instead, Smith's lack of involvement was due to a scheduling conflict. Will Smith has made his share of rap hits over the years, and indeed was supposed to be part of the Grammy Awards tribute to 50 years of hip-hop via Variety. However, as musicians and producer Questlove noted, Smith's absence was entirely work-related, and the actor was simply too busy with the Hollywood schedule to take part in the tribute. In fact, the event happened to coincide with filming the upcoming Bad Boys 4. I'll give the spoiler alert away. Questlove said, Will Smith was a part of the festivities tonight, but they started shooting Bad Boys 4 this week. There were a lot of preliminary shots that he had to do, so we had to lose Will. Smith wasn't the only person who couldn't make it. Per the New York Times, Questlove juggled a massive cast and dealt with a number of big-name cancellations, including Lil Wayne. Regardless, the end result was highly impressive, and even included a nod to the Fresh Prince, as his old music partner DJ Jazzy Jeff was present, although it might be confirmed that Will Smith did not drop out due to his last award ceremony charade with Chris Rock. The actor still hit what some might say a rock bottom when this happened. As you remember, Will resigned from Academy after the incident. Let's take a short trip down memory lane. Will Smith, who slapped the comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars, said that he was resigning from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, saying that he had betrayed its trust with conduct that was shocking, painful, and inexcusable. The sudden announcement came days after the Academy had condemned Mr. Smith's action and opened an inquiry into the incident. I have directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I will fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct, he said in a statement. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work, he added. I am heartbroken. He said that he would accept any further consequences the board deems appropriate. Change takes time, he concluded, and I am committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence or overtake reason. The Academy said that it accepted his resignation. We have received and accepted Mr. Will Smith's immediate resignation from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. David Rubin, its president, said in a statement, we will continue to move forward with our disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Smith for violation of the Academy's standards of conduct in advance of our next scheduled board meeting on April 18. Now that he has resigned, Mr. Smith will no longer have access to Academy screenings and events. He would also not be able to vote in the Academy Awards. However, he could still be nominated for an award, since being a member is not a requirement for eligibility. Mr. Smith's resignation came through 12 hours after Will Packer, the lead producer of the Oscars telecast, spoke publicly about the episode for the first time. In an interview with Good Morning America on ABC, the network which also broadcast the Oscars, Mr. Packer said that after Mr. Smith had been asked to leave the ceremony, He urged the Academy leadership not to physically remove him from the theater in the middle of the live broadcast. Mr. Packer said he had learned from his co-producer, Shayla Cowan, that there were discussions of plans to physically remove Mr. Smith from the venue. So he said he immediately approached Academy officials and told them that he believed Mr. Rock did not want to make a bad situation worse. I was advocating what Rock wanted at the time, which was not to physically remove Will Smith at that time, Mr. Packer said, because as it has now been explained to me, that was the only option at that point. It had been explained to me that there was a conversation that I was not a part of to ask him to voluntarily leave. In the interview, Mr. Packer also said that Mr. Rock's joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair was unscripted, freestyling. He didn't tell one of the planned jokes, he said of Mr. Rock. Someone close to Mr. Rock who asked to speak anonymously because the Academy's inquiry into the incident is ongoing said that Mr. Rock was never asked directly if he wanted Mr. Smith removed. Had he been asked, it was not clear how Mr. Rock would have responded, the person said. Mr. Rock was only asked if he wanted to press charges, and he said that he did not, the person said. Mr. Packer said that, like many viewers at home, he had originally thought the slap might be part of an unplanned comedic bit, and that he was not entirely sure until he spoke with Mr. Rock backstage that Mr. Smith had actually hit the comedian. I just took a punch from Muhammad Ali, Mr. Packer recalled Mr. Rock telling him. Mr. Packer said that Mr. Smith reached out and apologized to him the morning after the Oscars, and he praised Mr. Rock for having kept his cool. Chris was keeping his head when everyone else was losing theirs, he said. I've never felt so immediately devastated, Mr. Packer said of the incident. Asked if, after hearing Mr. Smith's acceptance speech, he wished that the actor had left the ceremony, Mr. Packer said that he did, noting that Mr. Smith had not used his remarks to express real contrition and apologize to Mr. Rock. If he wasn't going to give that speech, which made it truly better, then yes, Mr. Packer said when asked if he wished Mr. Smith had left the ceremony, because now you don't have the optics of somebody who committed this act, didn't nail it in terms of a conciliatory acceptance speech in that moment, who then continued to be in the room. Smith did not apologize to Mr. Rock until the following event, after the Academy had condemned his actions and initiated disciplinary proceedings against him. Mr. Packer's comments came after days of questions about why Mr. Smith had seemed to face no repercussions for striking a presenter on live television. The Academy said in a statement in April that Mr. Smith had been asked to leave the award ceremony following the slap, but had remained. Then several publications questioned that account, citing anonymous sources, and reported that Mr. Packer had suggested he stay. Shortly after the ceremony ended Sunday, the Los Angeles Police Department issued a statement saying that the person who had been slapped had declined to file a police report. At the time, Miss Pinkett Smith was outspoken about what many people saw as an urgent need for the Academy to become more inclusive. Mr. Smith joined her in a boycott of the ceremony, drawing attention to the #OscarsSoWhite movement. Given the weight of the last ceremony chaos Will Smith had been into, do you really think him dropping out of the Oscars was just a result of the conflict in schedule? Let us know your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and smash that notification bell for more episodes.